So this video is going to be a little bit painful because I'm talking about all the major mistakes that I made in 2023 that I do not want to repeat in 2024, and hopefully you can learn from these mistakes and avoid them yourself. So let's just get right into the pain. Number one, financial irresponsibility. In 2023, I spent far too much money far too quickly. I spent a lot of it on good causes, charity, helping out people that I care about. A lot of it went to camera gear, fun new toys that I could justify buying because it was for my business. Much of it was truly helpful and is going to be helpful as my company grows, but I invested way too much without a clear plan of return on investment in the short term, and I spent more than I earned. That's the bottom line. And I racked up credit card debt, other debt, and decimated my savings account. So in 2024, I'll be keeping a much tighter rein on my spending in order to rebuild financially. It should go without saying, but I'm going to say it. Don't ever spend more than you're earning. Be smart with your finances. Keep a good budget. Don't be like me in 2023. In 2024, I'm turning this around, being very, very strict with my budgeting and getting my finances set right. And number two is not taking risks and opportunities. While I was not cautious at all with my money in 2023, I was way too cautious in taking risks and jumping at opportunities, social opportunities, business opportunities. I let anxiety and fear talk me out of doing more business networking, taking social opportunities, putting myself out there. I didn't even date at all in 2023. And honestly, who knows where my life might have gone if I'd connected with more people through business networking events. My financial situation might look completely different. If I'd, gone out to more social events, swing dancing like I used to even, might I have made a bunch of new cool friends? Might I have met a really cool single woman and hit it off with and, maybe have a relationship right now? The possibilities are endless for what might have been. So in 2024, I plan to take more of those opportunities that present themselves to me and even create a few to see where life takes me. And I really highly encourage you, if you're like me and a little bit risk shy, a little shy in general, give it a try. Be brave and awkward. Take opportunities and just see where they go. Number three is people pleasing. This was a huge pitfall for me in 2023 and really has been my whole life. And this bleeds into so many of the other mistakes that I've made this past year that I've mentioned and not mentioned. I spent way too much time in 2023 trying to make other people happy and solve other people's problems. And choosing rather I did things or didn't do things because of what I thought other people wanted or didn't want me to do. I stayed in a business relationship far too long that I knew wasn't good, wasn't bringing in money, wasn't helping me out because I didn't want to let him down. And when I finally did break those business ties, he literally didn't even care. So I literally just wasted a ton of time and money in a business deal that was losing for me just to protect the feelings of my business buddy who I'd considered a friend, and he didn't even give a shit. I also didn't cut off another friendship that I knew was really bad for me and toxic and doing a lot of damage to my life in so many areas, and it was for that exact same reason of people pleasing. I didn't want to let them down. But then I realized I'm okay. I can survive without this friendship. It doesn't matter if they're super upset. In fact, my life is way better without them dragging me down and taking away the energy that I could be using for creativity, taking away my peace, and taking away my focus. And if I hadn't spent so much time trying to make them and others, like me, love me, make them feel happy, make them, feel good about themselves, I could be in a completely different space in so many aspects of my life. So in 2024, my goals with this one are twofold. One, make sure that I don't get sucked back into similar relationships or even those same relationships that had me people-pleasing in really destructive ways. And number 2, work on not making decisions based on what might or might not make other people happy. Even if it sounds a little selfish as I'm saying it, a little selfishness is okay, especially when breaking destructive habits. Number 4 is way too much time on social media unproductively. I think we can all relate to this one. This one is huge. Be it Facebook or Instagram, TikTok, or the app formerly known as Twitter, I wasted a huge amount of time on social media. Even here on YouTube, I spent a huge amount of time watching content that really didn't add any value to my life. It was just kind of brain candy. I'd really love to know, just like how many hours did I spend mindlessly scrolling, watching, commenting, and arguing online on all these different platforms. Like it would be fascinating to know, because I'm sure it's a ridiculous amount of hours. And when I look back, most of it really was entirely wasteful. I don't remember most of what I saw. I learned very little. I wasted a ton of time. I burned emotional energy. And the needle on my life goals did not move forward an inch in all of that time that I was spending on those apps. This one is going to be a bit of a hard habit shift, but my goal is to spend far less time on social media, especially time spent mindlessly. I plan to pay attention to my emotions when I start scrolling social media. Am I bored, lonely, sad, angry? What am I avoiding by going into the mind-numbing state of just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling? With my business, I can't escape social media entirely, but 2024 needs to be a year of a lot less social media. Number 5 is bad sleep habits. This is massive for me. Huge. I cannot overstate how massive this is for me. I got into really bad sleep habits, not sleeping till 1 a.m., 2 a.m., even 3 a.m. in the morning, on a regular basis, and waking up late, feeling groggy, unproductive, and really unhealthy. This completely wrecked any chance I had of productivity on so many days in 2023. It sabotaged other healthy habits like waking up and exercising, having time to meditate, having the energy to work on passion projects that just filled me with creativity and really charged me up to work on my business. When exhausted, good decision-making skills are inhibited. And I experienced this quite a bit, and this perpetual exhaustion may well have contributed to a lot of the bad financial decisions, my choice not to take risks, endless social media scrolling, and a lot of other poor choices that I made. Inversely, all that social media scrolling also contributed to my bad sleep habits. So of course in 2024, I'm working hard to establish better sleep habits. I'm trying to start by getting in bed by 11 and awake by 7, and I'm aiming to get to bed by 10 eventually and still wake up at 7 so I can be really rested and healthy. This is going to be foundational to having a healthy and fantastic life in 2024. And number 6 is I had no solid schedule. This directly relates to my bad sleeping habits. I really had no solid schedule that I stuck to. I woke up when I woke up, went to bed when I wanted, dabbled in work when I felt like it, played video games and scrolled on social media, or, watched YouTube or TV shows, just whenever I felt like it, and was really inconsistent with what I was doing in my day-to-day. Obviously, this massively contributed to my productivity collapsing over the year. So in 2024, I've built myself out a much more rigid base schedule. It can shift if appointments and stuff come up, but in general, we'll stay on a very, very similar structure to keep myself disciplined, focused, and engaged in what I'm doing. Of course, the trick will be to make sure that I really stick to it every single day and don't allow myself to cheat, especially as this habit is forming. And if I do fall off, to just get right back up on the horse and keep at it. Number 7, is I really had no clear direction. This, as with all the others, is connected to many of the other points, but I really didn't have an overarching vision for how I wanted my 2023 to look. I didn't have goals that I was really striving for. I didn't have a central point of focus. I didn't have a lot of things that I wanted to really make happen. And this really opened the door to justify a host of other short and long-term mistakes that really didn't serve me. I had no scale to measure any choices against. There wasn't a, do I want to stay up late scrolling on Instagram, or do I want to sleep so that I can crush these very specific goals that I have in the morning? That was not a question that I ever could ask myself, because what goals did I have? I didn't have them. So for 2024, I have a number of written goals. I have content creation goals, I have business goals, I have money goals, health goals, and social goals. So that every choice I can reflect, does this push me forward or pull me back? I can make choices based against all those goals. As I work to remedy all of these 7 mistakes and change my choices for the better outcomes in 2024, I hope that if you recognize any of these habits in yourself, or maybe some different habits that kind of stuck out to you as I was talking, that you want to change, that you'll join me in working on them. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing for more content like this, as well as discussions on religious deconstruction, reconstruction after religion, and world events, and just other topics on my mind. And I will catch you very soon.